Life is odd, isn't it? Full of surprises. Yet some things are odder than others. Now, on the plus side, you might find a pearl in an oyster shell, or perhaps a four-leaf clover in a field of green. Your odds are equally remote, about 1 in 10,000 for each. Or you could just buy a lottery ticket. There your odds, though, are not even that good. They're about 1 in 300 million. But don't forget that one right ticket wins every time. On the other hand, life's a tricky proposition. Regardless of the odds, you just never know how it's going to come out. So I present the following as a public service for you planners. There really are some things that are sure and non-negotiable. You might say they're the best bad odds in the house. Are you ready? 1 out of 1 of us is going to die. Yep, you heard me. 1 out of 1 of us is going to die. Which means that death may well be the single opportunity in life in which we will all share and share alike. Look at it this way. I'm dying here. But so are you. So are you. Does that affect your way of living? It should. Back when most of us were young, the late lamented Jimmy Buffett produced an album called Living and Dying in Three-Quarter Time. Now, Jimmy may have been wasted away in Margaritaville, but he could still craft a fine analogy. But what if somebody or something speeds up the tempo? That's what I want to talk about today. You see, this talk is about me, but it's for you. Make no mistake. Like I said, think of this as a public service announcement. Last January the 23rd started out as just another day in the life. Nothing exceptional about it, business as usual. At least that's what I thought when I walked into my doctor's office for my routine checkup. Now come there with me for a minute. Watch. A petite and graceful lady in a white coat enters the room right on time with a warm and professional greeting. "Good morning, Mr. Good." Offers a sweet smile, just like all the times before. We are familiar. We know the dance. She has the usual papers in her hand, the results of my last blood test. For the first few minutes, she reads down through them, nodding casually over them, one by one. Ho-hum. Her review seems interminable. I want to get on with things. I'm only barely listening. Yes, I'm 75 years old, but I exercise, I eat well, I buy my fruit and vegetables in the organic aisle, for gosh sakes. What's to worry about, right? And in an instant, the rhythm of the familiar dance is broken as she stares fixedly at a particular entry. Only the subtle sound of the clock witnesses to the passage of time. Tick, tick, tick. But then, right about minute 8, she looks up into my eyes, and the steps of the dance are forever altered. You have cancer. She goes on to talk about PSA and urologists and procedures and tests and whatnot, but she might as well be speaking Urdu or Algonquian as far as I'm concerned, because all I hear is the deafening white noise that's cascading through my head. Cancer. I've got cancer. 3 words. 3 words. No. Those 3 words. They're a game changer. Suddenly death, always a distant companion. Suddenly he crossed the gap which so long had held him at bay. And suddenly he walked into my room, smiled his dark smile, and shifted my world on its axis. 8 minutes to the decision. What now? Sometimes that's just the way it is. My experience as a pastor tells me that in those moments, those times of loss, those times of confusion, those times when the wheels come off the track, human beings fall into 2 categories. There's those who surrender to chaos, give in to despair, and let themselves be crushed. And there's those who stand firm and step into creative possibility. It's either check, please, or so what's on the dessert menu? 8 minutes to this decision. Which is it going to be? Your choice bespeaks your worldview. Is your perception a product of this world, confined by facts, defined by physical reality, constrained by earthbound limits? Is that you? Or does your worldview allow for some broader vision, a universal vision of more, fashioned from forgiveness and more supple boundaries and more extensive possibilities? How you answer depends on how you understand the nature of human being itself. French philosopher Teilhard de Chardin draws a critical distinction that goes to the heart of this conversation. We are not physical beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Seen from this perspective, the back door of earthly life quite possibly swings open wide to reveal a vista of possibility we would have never imagined. Now, how you answer also dictates how you respond when that 8-minute buzzer sounds. Crushed or creative? Will you reach for the check? Or will you ask to see if creme brulee is on the dessert menu? The choice is yours. I'll tell you what I did. I felt the fear rise up instantly. For a few hours that afternoon, it dragged me down into despair and lament and self-pity. But you see, that's not really who I am, and that's not really where I live. And more importantly, that's not the emotional terrain I want my children and grandchildren to homestead after I'm gone. I want my legacy to them to be an abiding image of a life lived in uncontained joy and unconstrained gratitude. The next morning, I awakened to a new day. The world opened before me once again, and I reclaimed my trust in my experience of a generous universe and my understanding that heaven was not a physical place out there somewhere, but a spiritual place in here, right in here, being created by all of us who embrace hope and life and who work to make it become a reality here, now, on earth. And that whenever the time came, I would move seamlessly from one realm to another. That, in fact, I might not even be aware of that transition for some period of time afterward. And that clarifying light illuminated a deep awakening. It gave me an awareness that the threat of cancer wasn't taking something away from me. It was offering me an entree into something greater. That the disease could do whatever it wanted, and the end was a win-win for me. Stay here and enjoy my loved ones for an extended period of time, or go there and step into an even more promising life to come. In those first 8 minutes of that new day came a fresh realization. I didn't have cancer. No. I was blessed with cancer. And so I would use that blessing as an opportunity to reflect deeply on the things that truly mattered and to model graceful living and faithful dying to those who would be along the journey with me. Now here's the thing. I came here today to share that commitment with you. One out of one of us. Which means we will all have the opportunity to fashion our own legacy through our manner of living into dying. You have cancer. Those 8 minutes set in motion a series of decisions which have changed my life. Now, I've been sharing my story for just about, 8 minutes. hoping that this time we've spent together might change yours. One out of one of us. So what's the legacy you'll leave? For me, 8 minutes has now become 8 months. I've met the urologist, had the biopsy, endured the scans, and even the surgery. But the outcome is not yet certain. As I stand here in this moment, I don't know how the odds are going to play out. The end is not yet clear, but I am. I've seen the dessert menu, and I'll take the creme brulee. Would you care to join me? Thank you.